Hare Krishna devotees, Dhanavad Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hari Bol to Vishwanath Prabhu, Ritesh Prabhu, Pandit Shivas Prabhu for leading the chanting this morning. Let's continue with our Mangalacharan. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay, anybody would like to sing our prayer today? Link is in the chat. Let me also share the screen. Aarti Mataji, you want to try?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, I can try.
Yeah.
Advance sorry for if I does any miss. Just a
No.
second.
Go ahead. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, just a second. Gaurangera Tutipada Jaratana Sampada Sejane Bhakti Rasa Sara Gaurangera Madhurlila Jarakarane Pravashila Ritaya Nirmala Velo Tara Chikorangir Namaloy Tara Hoy Prima Toy Tare Moy Jaya Boli Hari Goranga Gunite Jure Nitalila Tare Sure Sejana Bhakti Adhikari Gorangera Sangigane Nitya Siddha Khori Mane Saya Jaya Brajendra Sutta Pasha Shri Ghora Mandala Bhumi Jiva Jane Chindamani Tara Hoya Braja Bhumi Vasa Ghora Prema Rasanave Shetarange Jiva Tube Siratha Madhavanta Ranga Grahe Bhavani Te Thake Ho Gorange Pole Take Narotama Mage Tara Sangha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Bol to Aarti Mataji. Shri Gaurangera Dhutipada ki jai, Shri Pratna ki jai, Shri Narottam Das Thakur ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, anybody else would like to read translation?
I will read, Prabhu.
Hari Bol. Yes, Nalin Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Anyone who has accepted the two lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya can understand the true essence of the devotional service. If one is captivated by the pleasing pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, the dirty things in his heart will all become cleansed. One who simply takes the holy name of Gaura Sundara, the Sri Krishna Chaitanya, will immediately develop love of God. Such a person, I say, bravo, very nice, excellent. If one appreciates the merciful pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and feels ecstasy and sometimes cries, this process will immediately help him to understand the eternal pastimes of Radhakrishna. Simply by understanding that the associates of Lord Gauranga are eternally free from material contaminations, one can immediately be promoted to the transcendental abode of Lord Krishna if one simply understands that the land of Navadvipa is not different from Vrindavan, then he actually lives in Vrindavan. If one says, let me dive deep into the waves of nectarian ocean of the transcendental loving movement introduced by Lord Chaitanya, he immediately becomes one of the confidential devotees of Radhakrishna. It doesn't matter whether one is householder living at home or the Vanaprastha or the sannyasi living in the forest. If he chants O Gauranga and becomes a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, then Narottama Das begs to have his association.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Nalan Prabhu. Anything that you want to share from this prayer that you liked?
Prabhu here, like how the importance of Sri Chaitanya's love and the devotional things, like it is just like we're staying in Vrindavan, right? Vrindavan is a pure love, pure with uh, full devotional, mindset, right? Same thing here also Navadev, that's what he said. And when we keep chanting, like Radha Krishna's like reading Radha Krishna's pastimes, we'll understand or we'll make more closer to, um, you know, the beautiness of Lord Krishna. That's what is mentioned here. That's it, bro. I just read very fast.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hopefully you didn't drive very fast. Are you still in Buffalo? Or you came
Yeah.
back? Buffalo. Okay. And
No,
then
bro.
today you're going to
I'm in Pittsburgh, bro.
Pittsburgh. Okay, so you're very close to New Vrindavan already. Hari Bol.
Yeah, close to Vrindavan. Pittsburgh, I will go to the Narayan Temple, Swami Narayan Temple here.
Okay.
Balaji Temple, yeah.
Balaji Temple, yes, yes. Okay, very nice. So yes, so like here they're saying Navadvip is not different from Vrindavan. So for you, Pittsburgh is not different from Vrindavan today. Okay, so we'll see you in New Vrindavan today evening. Okay, let's continue with our reading of teachings of Lord Kapila. So we are continuing with chapter 6, which is Mother Devati is desiring transcendental knowledge. It's DDTK. We've been talking about DDLJ. Devotees discover love in Japa. Devotees discover love in Jagannath Rath Yatra, right? So like that. This is DDTK. That devotees desire transcendental knowledge. Devotee desires transcendental knowledge. So yeah, we should all desire transcendental knowledge because like you were just saying, yeah, when we desire this knowledge, when we hear, when we do the Shravanam, then we want to chant more. And even chanting is, Prabhupada says, chanting is also Shravanam, and hearing is also Kirtanam, right? So it's all there. As long as we are associated with Krishna, all the limbs of bhakti are there. And yeah, we can develop our love of God. And like the prayer was saying, as soon as we immediately chant with Shuddhanam, we have to get to that stage of Shuddhanam, pure chanting and pure consciousness. Right now, our consciousness is covered with material desires and dirt. So, but you have to continue chanting. The process of cleaning is, to clean, we have to start cleaning. It's not that as soon as you stroke one brush, everything will be cleaned. No, right? You have to keep cleaning. Ultimately, it will be spick and span white, so like that. So the chanting is the process. You have to continue chanting. Okay, let's continue. So here we read up to this shloka yesterday, Manmanava Mad Bhakto. So this is the formula that Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita to become his pure devotee. Right? Just by doing one or all four of these, Manmana, always remember the Lord. So we have been doing this activity very nicely this whole last 2 weeks of remembering the Lord through the taste of water, Rasoham of Sukanteya. And then this week we have started, second week we are doing Prabhasmi Shashi Surya Yoho, that I am the light of the sun and the moon. And it's nice that many devotees are already remembering the Lord multiple times in the day by just the simple things that Krishna told and that Prabhupada clearly gave us in Bhagavad Gita as it is. So, so Manmana is always remember the Lord in our mind. Mad Bhakto has become my devotee by following these process of devotional service of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, any of these or all of these. Madhyaji is you worship me, right? So whether we do one time Aarti, we sing Kirtan in front of our deities, right? Or Mam Namaskuru, bow down before the Lord when we see the Lord at the temple, at our home, even a picture, we should bow down. So that is the process. Okay, so let's continue. In this way, Krishna opens the door, but we unfortunately do not accept him. Krishna tells Arjuna, because you are my friend, I am revealing to you the most confidential dharma. What is that? Simply surrender unto me. This is the dharma taught by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna's incarnation and his devotee will teach the same dharma. We are all after happiness, but we do not know how to enjoy happiness. We want to enjoy our senses, but it is not possible with these covered false senses. The senses must be opened, and that is the process of purification. We are thinking of ourselves according to so many false material identifications, but we should take Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advice. Jivera Swarup hai, Krishnera Nitya Das. We must come to understand, I am the eternal servant of Sri Krishna. After all, our senses are employed for the satisfaction of somebody, either for ourselves or for someone else. That is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Matsarya, illusion. If we are not serving our own lusty desires, Kama, we are serving anger, Krodha. If I am the master of anger, I can control my anger. And if I am the master of my desires, I can control my desires. In any case, I am a servant, and my service should be transferred to Sri Krishna. That is the perfection of life. If we are situated in the transcendental position, Bhakti, we can understand Krishna. Krishna cannot be understood by mental speculation. Otherwise, he would have said that he could be understood by jnana, karma or yoga. However, he clearly says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only by devotional service can I be understood. If we want to know Krishna as he is, we have to accept the process of bhakti. It is this bhakti process that Kapila will reveal to Devahuti. Next 11. Tam tvagataham sharanam sharanyam svabhritya samsarataro kutharam jigyasa sayaham prakrite purushasya namami saddharma vidam varishtham. Devahuti continued, I have taken shelter of your lotus feet because you are the only person of whom to take shelter. You are the axe which can cut the tree of material existence. I therefore offer my obeisances unto you, who are the greatest of all transcendentalists, and I inquire from you as to the relationship between man and woman and between spirit and matter. Sankhya philosophy, as is well known, deals with Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or anyone who imitates the Supreme Personality of Godhead as an enjoyer, and Prakriti is nature. In this material world, material nature is being exploited by the Purushas or the living entities. The intricacies in the material world of the relationship of the Prakriti and Purusha, or the enjoyed and the enjoyer, give rise to samsara or material entanglement. Devahuti wanted to cut the tree of material entanglement, and she found the suitable weapon in Kapila Muni. The tree of material existence is explained in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita as an Ashwatha tree, whose root is upward and whose branches are downward. It is recommended there that one has to cut the root of this material existence tree with the axe of detachment. What is the attachment? The attachment involves Prakriti and Purusha. The living entities are trying to lord it over material nature. Since the conditioned soul takes material nature to be the object of enjoyment and he takes the position of the enjoyer, he is therefore called Purusha. Devahuti questioned Kapila Muni, for she knew that only he could cut her attachment to this material world. The living entities, in the guises of men and women, are trying to enjoy the material energy. Therefore, in one sense, everyone is Purusha because Purusha means enjoyer and Prakriti means enjoyed. In this material world, both so-called men and women are imitating the real Purusha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the actual enjoyer in the transcendental sense, whereas all others are Prakriti. In the Bhagavad Gita, matter is analyzed as apara, or inferior nature, whereas beyond this inferior nature there is another superior nature, the living entities. Living entities are also Prakriti, or enjoyed, but under the spell of Maya, the living entities are falsely trying to take the position of enjoyers. That is the cause of samsara bandha, or the conditional life. Devahuti wanted to get out of conditional life and place herself in full surrender. The Lord is Sharanya, which means the only worthy personality to whom one can fully surrender, because he is full of all opulences. If anyone actually wants relief, the best course is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is also described here as Saddharma Vidam Varishtham. This indicates that of all transcendental occupations, the best is eternal loving service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dharma is sometimes translated as religion, but that is not exactly the meaning. Dharma actually means that which one cannot give up, that which is inseparable from oneself. The warmth of fire is inseparable from fire. Therefore, warmth is called the dharma, or nature of fire. Similarly, Saddharma means eternal occupation. That eternal occupation is engagement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The purpose of Kapil Dev's Sankhya philosophy is to propagate pure, uncontaminated devotional service, and therefore he is addressed here as the most important personality among those who know the transcendental occupation of the living entity. As pointed out before, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is everyone's real shelter. Sharanam Sharanyam. Everyone is seeking shelter because we are all constitutionally servants. Originally, we are servants of God. Therefore, it is our nature to take His shelter. Some seek an occupation or the service of a great man. Others seek the service of the government or whatever. In any case, the ultimate shelter is Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Being Krishna's incarnation, Kapila Dev is also a shelter. Krishna has unlimited forms and unlimited incarnations. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam that his incarnations are expanding continuously like waves in the ocean. Indeed, we cannot even count them. In Brahma Samhita, it is said, Advaitam achyutamanadi mananta rupam adyam purusha puranam nava yauvanam cha. Okay. Videsha durlabham atmabhaktau govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. In India, there are many thousands of temples, and within these temples there are Archa Vigrahas, deities. All these Krishnas are non-different. They are one. Krishna resides in Vaikuntha and also in the temple. The Krishnas are not different, although they are Ananta, unlimited. Krishna is also the witness within everyone's heart, and he is seeing all of our activities. We cannot hide anything from him, and we receive the results of our karma because the witness is Krishna himself within the heart. How then can we avoid him? Without Krishna's permission, we cannot do anything. Why does Krishna give us permission to do something wrong? He does so because we persist. Actually, he does not tell us to do anything other than surrender unto him. We want to do something and Krishna may sanction it, but we go ahead and do it at our own risk. Krishna is not responsible. However, we should know that without the sanction of Krishna, we cannot do anything. That is a fact. Actually, we are constitutionally servants of Krishna. Even though we may declare ourselves independent, we are not. Rather, we are servants, falsely declaring that we are independent. Self-realization is understanding that we are dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूली सदृशं विचिन्तय. My dear Lord Sri Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant, but somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of nescience. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Let's read this again. This is very beautiful. Each of these 8 stanzas of Shikshashtakam are so potent. My dear Lord Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant, but somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of nescience. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Shikshashtaka, 5th verse. Because we are under illusion, Devahuti says, Swabhritya samsara taro kutharam. In Bhagavad Gita 15.1-4, material existence is likened unto a banyan tree with its roots upward and its branches below. The roots of this banyan tree are very strong, but they can be cut with an axe, kutharam. But by taking shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, we can cut the strong root of material existence. Because we have given up Krishna's service, we have become servants of so many things. We are obliged to serve our parents, wife, children, country, and so forth. We are indebted to so many people and to the demigods who give heat and light. Although we are not paying the bill, we are taking advantage of the sunlight and the sun's heat. If we take advantage of electricity, we have to pay the bill, but we don't pay the sun bill. This means that we are actually indebted to the sun god Vivaswan. Similarly, the king of heaven, Indra, is supplying water in the forms of rain. Rascals say that all this comes about by nature, but they do not know that nature is controlled. If we don't pay our debts by performing sacrifices, there will certainly be a scarcity. All of these things are coming from the Supreme Father, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But we are thinking that they are coming from nature, and we are utilizing them without caring whether we pay the bill or not. It is all right to use our father's property, but at the present moment we are not acting as our father's sons. We are Maya's sons. We do not care for our father. However, nature is nonetheless working under his direction. If we do not care for him, nature will reduce her supply, for nature will not allow demons to flourish. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 16.19, Tan aham vishata kruran samsareshu naradhaman shipyam ajasram ashubhan asurish eva yonishu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Demons are always subject to be punished, and great demons like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu are personally punished by the Lord. Otherwise, ordinary demons are punished by the laws of material nature. Krishna does not need to come to punish the petty demons. But when there are great demons like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, and Kamsa, the Lord comes as Lord Ramachandra, Lord Nrsimhadev, or Shri Krishna to punish them. If we do not want to be punished, we have to follow the rules and regulations. Sadharma. Dharma means the laws given by God. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. The laws are given by Bhagavan and are written in books like Manu Samhita and other Vedic literatures. According to the law, we have to obey the government, and according to Dharma, we have to obey Krishna, God. We cannot manufacture our laws at home, and we cannot manufacture Dharma. If one tries, he is simply cheating the public. Such false dharmas are kicked out of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.2. Dharma projita. The real dharma is set forth by Sri Krishna when he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. All other dharmas are simply forms of cheating. We must accept the principles of Bhagavad Gita, which constitute the ABCs of dharma. Actually, we only have to accept the principles of surrender unto Krishna. But this acceptance comes after many, many births. It is not very easy, for only after many births of struggle does one come to his real perfection and surrender unto Krishna. At this time, he understands perfectly that Vasudev, Krishna, is everything. This is the greatest lesson of Bhagavad Gita. Everything is Krishna's energy, and whatever we see is but an exhibition of 2 types of energy. Everyone knows that the sun has 2 types of energy, heat and light. Similarly, Krishna has an external energy and an internal energy, and he also has a marginal energy, which is a mixture of the other 2. The external energy is this material world, and the internal energy is the spiritual world. and the marginal energy is the living entity. The living entity is marginal because he can remain in the material world or the spiritual world. Bhagavad Gita describes two types of living entities, Kshara and Akshara, those living in the material world and those in the spiritual world. Those who have fallen into the material world are attracted by the tree of samsara, the banyan tree of material existence described in the Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter. It is essential that we disassociate ourselves from this tree by detachment. Cutting down this tree is very difficult, but it is possible with the weapon of detachment. There is a Bengali proverb that states, I will catch the fish, but I will not touch the water. That type of intelligence is required. In America, we see many old men on the beach who have retired from their business to waste their time trying to catch fish. They are not very cautious and they touch the water. However, we have to live in this material world in such a way that we do everything for Krishna but do not touch the water of the material world. In this way, we will have no attachment to things of this material world. We may have many great temples, but we should not be attached to them. It is for Krishna's sake that we construct temples, but we must understand that the temples are Krishna's property. Our mission is to teach people that everything belongs to Krishna. Only a thief will occupy something belonging to another and claim it to be his. The Krishna consciousness movement preaches that everything belongs to Krishna and that everything should be utilized for Krishna's benefit. He is the beneficiary of everything, and it is to our benefit that we come to this knowledge. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. If one realizes that everything belongs to Krishna, one becomes the greatest Mahatma. Being a Mahatma does not mean that one wears a big beard and a particular type of dress. No, this awareness must be there. Whatever we have should be offered to Krishna. If we have first class food, we should offer it to him. If we have nothing, we can offer him a leaf, a flower, a little water or a fruit. This can be collected by anyone, anywhere, without having to pay any money. As Shri Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita 9.26, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti upahartam ashnami prayatatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. The point is that we should offer something to Krishna with devotion. It is not that Krishna is hungry and is asking for food. No, he is feeding everyone, supplying everyone with all the necessities. Eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. Katha Upanishad 2.2.13. What then is he requesting? He is asking for bhakti, devotion, because he wants us to love him. We are suffering in this material world, entangled in the tree of material existence, moving from one branch to another, and because of this we are suffering. Krishna does not want us to suffer, jumping like monkeys from branch to branch. We must come to him and surrender to him. When we come to this knowledge, we become perfect in knowledge. When we take shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, we are no longer debtors to anyone. Na kinkaro nayam rini. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.41. Krishna assures us, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. I will give you all relief. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. This is what we actually want. Therefore, Devahuti herein takes shelter of Kapil Dev and tells him, you are the axe capable of making me detached. When our attachment to the material world is severed, we become free. Bhakti is the means by which we can develop this detachment. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the science of detachment. This verse was composed by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya when he understood that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a great logician and he composed 100 verses to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wherein he tells the Lord, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shikshatham Ekah Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Budhiryas Tamaham Prapadye. Let me take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Shri Krishna, who has descended in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us real knowledge. His devotional service and detachment from whatever does not foster Krishna consciousness. He has descended because he is an ocean of transcendental mercy. Let me surrender unto his lotus feet. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 6.254. Hare Krishna. Okay, let's pause here for today at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The lotus feet of Sri Radha Krishna. Okay. Yes, so many wonderful things. As always, Prabhupada teaches us his power packed. Always when Prabhupada speaks, each statement is so powerful. Like Prabhupada, his disciples would ask Prabhupada, like when Prabhupada would speak sometimes, in the dictaphone, and then they would go back and they would read, they would listen to those tapes, and then they would type or translate transliterate them and prepare the transcripts and then prepare the books. Sometimes the disciples would come back, Prabhupada, there was a very long silence. And they'll ask Prabhupada, why is there so much silence? And then Prabhupada would say that each sentence, each word that I speak is very, very important, because this is going to be the transcendental knowledge for the next 10,000 years. Right? So, and these are books, Prabhupada says multiple times, that these are not his books, these are words that are directly dictated by Sri Krishna. So each word, each sentence is so powerful. So many learnings and so many things, like we just keep reading them, rereading them again and again. We get so much depth of knowledge, so much depth of realization. Because when a pure devotee speaks, because they are always, like we finished here, they are always surrendered to the lotus feet. So you can see, like you can see the lotus feet of Lord. There are so many particles on the lotus feet, and each of those, are like the pure devotees who are eternally taking shelter. And when they speak from the lotus feet of the Lord, then the dust particles, the particles which are not dust particles, but actually they are transcendental particles from the dust, from the lotus feet of the Lord, they are kind of, expanded, they're thrown out into the ether, and then those sound, because in ether there is sound, right? And that sound vibration is the Lord Himself. But when the pure devotees of the Lord speak, then yes, those transcendental particles of the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord are expanding in this universe. So yeah, each sentence is so important. But yeah, I was remembering a few days ago, I was seeing one of the videos of Srila Prabhupada, and there again he was saying the same thing, where one disciple was asking Prabhupada, that, oh, Srila Prabhupada, we have committed so many sins. How is it possible? Do we have any hope that, you are saying that, we can go back to the Lord in this lifetime, but do I have any hope, that I know I've committed so many sins in this life itself, what to speak of, millions of other lives before. So immediately Prabhupada cuts him there. Are you not reading Bhagavad Gita? What does Krishna say? Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshashyami ma shucha. Right? So if you surrender unto me, then in 1 minute, he says, 1 minute it will be, you surrender. So in surrender also, we can do vachik surrender. First of all, we have to say to the Lord through our mouth when you do the prayers, that, oh Lord, I am surrendered unto you. Right? Just as we were reading that prayer from Shikshashtakam, Kinkaram, that, oh my Lord, I am an eternal servant of yours, but somehow or other I have fallen into this material existence due to ignorance. So please pick me up and place me as an atom at your lotus feet. So that prayer that we say, even that prayer that we sing from our mouth, when we sing that prayer, that means we are taking shelter, we are surrendering to the Lord. And then, of course, we have to follow the process of the devotional service. But at least we have to first of all use our mouth, use our tongue to at least say that, with our heart, say that loudly out to the Lord. And as soon as we say that, then Krishna takes note. Radha and Krishna, they're very pleased. Acharyas explain that, Lalita Devi, Vishaka Devi, they're all there, Ashtasakhi, they're all sitting, they're very happy when a jiva says that, oh Lord, I'm yours, I'm surrendered at your lotus feet. As soon as we say that, just by saying, they make a note, and they're also happy and joyful in the spiritual world that here is my eternal, child who is coming back to me. So like that. So at least we should have that prayer from our heart that I'm surrendered unto you, and then the process starts. So I was also this point that how people are captivated by Maya. There's this bhakti conference going on, and I was listening to one class by one teacher from Avanti schools in UK, and Mataji was saying that how as a teacher it is so difficult for her to teach this, because in UK, so they have this Avanti school which is sponsored by the government. Their religion is part of the curriculum, so they teach different religions in the curriculum. But the way they teach is they take up all these big questions, like who am I? Why am I suffering? What happens after death? Those kind of questions, and then they teach the philosophy and the teachings of various different great personalities from history, and also from different religious faiths, and then they're not forcing the kids, but they're basically showing the kids what great historians, what great personalities from the past have actually spoken on these themes, what different religions, what different faiths are speaking, and then they let those kids kind of you know, figure out what resonates with them, where their heart is, and then like that. So anyway, so the point I was trying to make is that she was sharing one story where she was saying teaching teenagers is so difficult, right? So she teaches teenagers, and the teenagers have their own mind. Like we all know, many of us here on the call have teenagers or about to be teenagers or who have had teenagers. So they are more inclined to hearing from their peers, right, versus from their parents. And same thing with teachers. So they teach us. She is like in her 20s, but she's saying, I already feel old. She said when we are in the corporate world, we are working in like when we are in 40s, 50s, 60s, then we start feeling old, right? But in teaching profession, even in your 20s, you're already feeling old because the kids have their own lingo, their own style of speaking and slang, etc. So, but she was saying the example of one kid, that how this kid was very, very like logical, very scientific, and very argumentative, right? Like he will not believe anything, and because when they teach like the stories of from our Vedic scriptures, he would not believe anything. He would just say, "This is just fluff. This is all made up. Nothing is true. It's just mental concoction like that." So anyway, so this happened for many months like that. So it was very hard. But then one day she said, I was sharing the story from the seventh canto of Prahlad Maharaj and Nrsingadev, and then she narrates that story, that how like how Hiranyakashipu basically asked for all these boons, and it's like he was listening very attentively. She was saying very attentively. He was like, he's asking all these boons, right, that to Brahma, that I want immortality, and when Brahma says that no, you cannot, I myself am not immortal, how can I give him immortality? And then then he tricks him by asking that I should not be killed inside or outside during the day or night, or in the air or sky, or by weapons, or by man or beast, etc. So he was listening very attentively, and then he was kind of smiling. He says, okay, now we'll see what your Krishna does, or what your Vishnu does. How does he break this, right? So, and then when she revealed to him that how Krishna could have just killed him without keeping promise of Brahma, but still Krishna keeps the promise, and he comes in the form of Nrsingadev, right? And how he kills, as he is not a man or a lion, he's not a man or a beast, he is half man, half lion, kills him not inside, outside, but on his lap, on the doorstep, not during day and night, but on the dusk, right? So after she narrates that story and this whole pastime, he is completely captivated. She was giving this example that this kid, after like almost a year of being a non-believer, suddenly, after hearing this one pastime of the Lord, completely surrendered. He says, "Oh my God!" She says that he came to her after the class and said, "Oh my God, Krishna is a genius," right? So anyway, so the point is that each one of us have our own different journeys. But something, so Srimad Bhagavatam is, that's why it's the ripened fruit, and something will strike a chord with people if you have to just pay attentive hearing, give full attention, and hear these pastimes of the Lord. And Krishna is a magician. Krishna is a genius. He will make sure that we will be attracted to him. So yeah, like this. Yeah, each word, each sentence, of these scriptures is so valuable. We don't know what will strike a chord with somebody. So we just have to read sincerely, and yes, everything will be wonderful. Okay, all right, I thought I'll just share that. It was very nice to hear these like real life stories of how teenagers also get attracted by the all attractive Sri Krishna. We have to give up the Trishna. Trishna is the hankering for material things. If we give up the Trishna, then we get attracted by Krishna. Okay, anybody else would like to share anything? Krishna Mataji is here. Mataji, I'd like to hear from you. Anything that you liked from today's reading? You're on mute if you are speaking.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Nothing, I just like the story that you just said regarding how teenagers are hard to teach and accept. So we have to find that something, that link that attracts them to listen to even this Krishna consciousness stuff. So I like that, because I think I'm struggling with the children they're going through a phase, so I feel like that resonated with me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we have these nice books that Vishwanath Prabhu has written. We have the center, we have Bhagavatam tales. Yeah, we can read these nice in story format with the kids. Yeah, but yeah, I think the teenagers are now so of course we start there. Bhagavatam tales, Gita. We have all these books by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. But yeah, just reading these pastimes, maybe just these pastimes of the Lord, from different cantos can be read out. If kids are a little more elder, then yeah. Like my daughter Sheila, she has been reading Leelamrit. I think she is almost. We already finished it, but she started before us. But yeah, she is almost on the verge of finishing it. But yeah, she has interest in reading, so we give them those kind of books where, like there is a book by Aindra Prabhu. There is a book by Mother Malati on the bond of love. Those kind of books, because those are real life stories of how people's lives were transformed. So those kind of books, I
Yes.
think, interesting for the teenagers. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else from anybody before we wrap up today? Hope everybody continues. Yes. Yeah, something. Meenakshi Mohini. Yes.
We were just talking about kids. I wanted to share what we were following for past week. Rasum Apsukanteya, tasting Krishna is the taste of water. So I wake up my daughter Vidhi. She is almost to be 10 years. I wake her up and she takes a lot of time to get up from the bed. She'll almost take like 15-20 minutes to actually get up and start her day. And I always give her the water bottle of water. Wake up Vidhi, pani pilo, like that. So past couple of days I started waking up. Vidhi, wake up, taste Krishna. How is he tasting today? Khatte hain, meethe hain. Like we have been talking about this at home, Prabhu, me. So I started doing that with Vidhi from last couple of days. Vidhi, wake up, taste water. Some conversation will make her wake up faster if I start a conversation to wake her up. So that is something I felt was very sweet. And first 2 days she was like, okay. So she got attracted to that. Just wanted to share that how we can use these small, things in our life to make our kids and ourselves more connected to Krishna. That's it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Ribo. Thank you for sharing. Okay, wonderful. So yeah, let's continue. Don't forget that taste of water is Krishna. Even now, even though we are in week 2, we are now looking at the light of the sun and the moon. I think moon is going to start again becoming brighter and brighter in this waning fortnight. So as we look at the bright moon in the night and the sun in the morning, let's remember Krishna even during the day. We don't have to look at the sun, but just the light of the sun, and we can remember Krishna and chant one Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. These are small gestures which will help us start remembrance of the Lord more and more during the day. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavendra ki jai. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Teachings of Lord Kapila ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you all. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Have a great day, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.